Hello, good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Tammy.
Okay, you're welcome to today's session. Um, Before we start, I'll just like to introduce myself. My name is Tammy Iyoyo. I'm an electrical engineer by training with a master's in IT for management. I am a certified SAP SD and business process integration consultant. I have tutored over 500 students in SAP within a span of over 7 years, within which I have carried out implementation projects and also support projects. For more than 8 different entities with varying business processes. I am currently the managing partner of EagleBits Limited, a business process outsourcing company, which specializes in ERP implementation and training. Today's training will be broken into two 35-minute sessions. I'll make it as fast as possible in order for us to cover much ground and post the recording on YouTube. So if you miss out on anything, or you feel that you have questions to ask, probably if I am too fast, just go to my YouTube channel, Terminal Fury Iyoyo. You could drop a comment there, drop a question, or probably play back the recording, as the case may be. Okay, so we will just jump right straight into the training. Okay. Please kindly confirm that you can see my screen.
Yes, I can. I can see it, Tammy.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So this is SAP overview for absolute beginners. Now, we know that of course you must have asked some questions, as regards why business processes, are, despite the fact that, there are several locations of a particular entity, they are able to integrate their business processes so seamlessly. The magic wand is an ERP software. That's what, most of these big companies today, they use to integrate their business processes. And of course, SAP is one of those big companies or big softwares now that is used uh, to integrate business processes. So if you wish to go into SAP, whether as a user or as a consultant, this is the right training for you. This is the right place to be. So without wasting much time, we'll just go straight into the training. Okay, SAP overview for absolute beginners, absolute beginners. Okay, so at the end of this training, the objective is that you would understand what SAP is about. You have a thorough knowledge of why you should consider going into SAP or implementing the software. Um, you would also know how to make an informed decision into which modules to choose. Also understand the basic functionalities in the SAP system. It will also give you a comprehensive guide to starting an SAP career. So if we are going to wait till the very end of this video, we will also be giving you few tips into, how to make your SAP career a blossoming one. Okay. So please don't leave the channel. Wait till the end of the training, and you wouldn't regret it. Okay. So what is SAP? SAP stands for Systems, Applications, and Products in Data Processing. It is an enterprise resource planning software developed by a German company called SAP SC. SAP, basically what it does is it integrates your various business processes by offering several modules that handle, different functions such as finance, human resources, supply chain, production, planning, and much, much, much more. So the buzzword here is enterprise resource planning. enterprise, the keyword being enterprise, okay? So basically, it's an enterprise-wide software that integrates all business processes. It just brings all business processes into one box. And one thing we have to understand is for your processes to run seamlessly using an ERP software, data must be accurate. As long as data is accurate, being brought into the system, your business will run seamlessly. So the primary goal of SAP basically is to enable businesses to manage their operations and customer relations efficiently through a centralized system. Of course, not just customers alone, but also suppliers and vendors, and even the human resources as well. So it cuts across virtually all departments. It cuts across virtually all business operations in any organization. Okay, so what's the brief? We'll just look at the brief history of SAP. SAP started in 1972, and it was founded by, about 5 former IBM engineers. Okay, the company started with a vision to create standard application software for real-time data processing. Okay, in 1973, SAP launched its first product, which was the Arrow One, which was a financial accounting system, just like your Sage today. All right, but it was just financial accounting alone. Okay, in 1992, SAP released the Arrow 3, a client-server software that revolutionized ERP by allowing more flexible and scalable enterprise solutions. So the SAP we hear of today, the robust system we hear of today, it started in 1992, okay? In 2004, SAP introduced the ERP Central Component, ECC, which today I think we have EHP 8. That's the enhancement pack 8. That's the latest enhancement pack. But as of 2004, it was EHP 5, which incorporated web-based user interfaces and enhanced integration capabilities. In 2011, SAP launched its HANA database, which is an in-memory database platform that dramatically improved data processing speed. So is their priority database, that's HANA database now. SAP, the ECC system, it sits on other databases such as the Oracle database. However, for the SAP HANA, the SAP HANA is its priority database. In 2015, SAP released the SAP S/4HANA, which is the next generation business suite designed to run on the SAP HANA platform, offering simplified data model and enhanced user experience. Okay, in this aspect now, we talk about, the Fury interface now, which comprises of mostly tiles rather than a complex user interface, okay, or graphical user interface, the GUI. All right, then from 2017 to present, SAP continues to innovate with advancements in cloud computing, machine learning, Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, and of course, it has positioned itself as a leader when it comes to, digital transformation and the ERP market in general. Okay, so that's just a brief history of SAP as a software. Okay, so I'll just give basic statistics of why SAP is much desired enterprise-wide today. First, the market presence. SAP operates in over 180 countries and serves more than 440,000 customers worldwide. In terms of industry penetration, SAP solutions are used by businesses across 25 different industries, including manufacturing, retail, healthcare, and public services. In terms of revenue, in 2023, as of last year, SAP reported an annual revenue of approximately 30 billion euros. That's quite huge. Okay, that's quite huge. In terms of the workforce, SAP has a vast partner ecosystem, including 22,000 implementation and support partners worldwide. The workforce, SAP employs well over 100,000 people globally, whether directly or indirectly, contributing to its innovation, customer support, and efforts. Now, when I talk about 100,000, probably it's just direct, they're just direct for SAP. However, when it comes to indirect consultants, we have well over 500,000 people who actually use or are consultants, for using the SAP software. Cloud solutions, SAP has made significant strides, in cloud computing. With cloud revenue making up a substantial portion of its total income. In 2023 alone, the cloud revenue was somewhere around 30 billion. And, it's based on, it's S/4HANA, either public cloud system or private cloud system, as the case may be. So the cloud solutions, they are really making good revenue from that. Then the user base, more than 200 million cloud users leverage SAP solutions for various business operations. Okay, so that's just little statistics, just to whet your appetite a little bit. To go into, SAP, there is great prospect now going into SAP, as we can see. Some organizations that use SAP, we have ShopRite, we have MTN, we have Shell, Toyota. All these are just a few of them. There are several organizations that use SAP because it cuts across virtually every business process, no matter how, customized or whatever the business process might be. SAP can cater for it. So these are some of the organizations that use SAP. So what are the benefits of SAP? First, we have it's multilingual. There are several languages, which of course could be used, whether it's English, whether it's German, Spanish, whatever, is multilingual. That's why several organizations actually prefer it, no matter where, the location might be, globally, it can cater for their needs, okay? It meets accounting and tax standard in most countries. Whatever the accounting standard is, whatever the tax standard might be, SAP can well cater for that. It's seamless data integration. For instance, when you want to move from a legacy system, maybe a manual system, be it Excel or whatever, you can easily migrate your data into SAP. It's highly customizable. Whatever you need to do, whatever your business process might be, SAP has a solution, has a solution to meet that particular business operation or business process. Then good customer service, of course. Excellent customer service. Once you contact SAP as regards, challenges using the software, they respond. I can't vouch for, the timing of the response, but, from experience, SAP, within 24 hours to 48 hours, they will give you a good response on solutions. Okay, besides even that, they have a wonderful and thriving online community that can attend to, customers' need or consultants' needs, as the case may be. Reporting and analysis. Of course, SAP is a reporting tool, very wonderful reporting tool. It meets, and whatever reporting needs now. But as I said initially, there has to be accurate data that's, is being fed into it. Okay. Once the data being fed into it is accurate, you get, spanky clean reports and analysis. In terms of data security, it's one of, the most secured in terms of data security. There is the governance risk and compliance model which ensures that there are no breaches. Of course, is ISO certified as well, so there is no way there could be any data breaches. Okay, scalability. It could carry as many users at every point in time. And it's highly scalable. Okay. Real-time data processing, efficiency and integration. These are just some of the benefits, of SAP. So what are the limitations? Of course, SAP has its limitations. Some of the limitations of implementing SAP software are lengthy implementation period. From experience, SAP could take up to maybe at least 3 months, okay, in terms of, the data requirement gathering process up to the blueprinting process, and then, the implementation phase and all, that could be quite lengthy, all right? But however, with the S/4HANA coming on board now, and it's a lot shorter now. There are template implementations which could span between just maybe a month or two, as the case may be, and you're up and running in your organization. So the next is the high total cost of ownership, TCO, total cost of ownership, implementation and running costs. It's quite an expensive software, all right, to own. And also the running costs when it comes to training of staff, when it comes to hiring of consultants, even whether you're doing an in-house implementation or you have to hire consultants from the outside. It's quite expensive to get, the software up and running. The complex interfaces, yes, this is a very challenging part of SAP. It has quite a number of complex interfaces. In the course of these training, we'll get to see, some of the screens in SAP and how complex they could be. However, there is the Fury interface, which makes things a lot easier. Okay, considering the user interface and the user experience, it's a lot less challenging. Okay, so just the complex interfaces, then slow adoption rates if not managed properly. So whenever you're implementing, of course, with any other software, there has to be a proper change management plan in place. There is the slow adoption rate, especially if not managed properly. If, for instance, you're transiting from a legacy system into SAP. We always know that users will rather prefer the old way of doing things. So you have to bring in a change manager and also a value realization manager as well, so that they will get to understand, the users will get to understand, the benefits, and also adoption would be managed properly. Okay, so what are some of the SAP products? SAP products, we have the SAP ECC, SAP S/4HANA, SAP Business One, and SAP Business by Design. The first two, that's SAP ECC and S/4HANA, they are usually used for many bigger organizations, okay, use the SAP ECC and the S/4HANA. However, for SMEs, small and medium scale enterprises, they usually go for more of the SAP Business One and the SAP Business by Design. The ECC, that's the ERP Central Component, is an on-premise enterprise resource planning software that seamlessly integrates all digital information and data stored in different places or company databases in real time. Top management executives get a unified view of the business process to make data-driven decisions. And as I said this earlier, SAP ECC, its database is IBM or Oracle, as the case may be. Okay. However, for the S/4HANA, yeah, it's an immediate successor to SAP ERP Central Components. It runs on SAP HANA in-memory database, specifically developed for, S/4HANA. The software was also regarded as SAP's most important ERP strategy to upscale solutions. There is the public cloud and the private cloud edition for, the S/4HANA. As a new advanced business suite, it has triple deployment options, okay? Either cloud, on-premise, or hybrid, depending on what, the client wants. The SAP Business One, on the other hand, is a solution for small and medium-scale enterprises. It has a lower total cost of ownership compared to, SAP ECC and the S/4HANA. SAP Business by Design is a comprehensive cloud-based enterprise resource planning software and designed for small and medium-scale enterprises as well. It aims to provide a unified, scalable, and flexible platform that integrates various business processes and helps organizations manage their entire operations efficiently. So basically, that's just some of the products, of SAP. All right. Okay, I should have mentioned as well. SAP ECC and S/4HANA. These are some of the products. Now in SAP ECC and S/4HANA, we have the ECC, that's SAP ERP, that's Enterprise Resource Planning, SAP ERP, SAP CRM, SAP SCM, the supply chain management, SAP SRM. We have that's supplier relationship management. Then we have SAP PLM, which is the product lifecycle management. Then for the SAP Business One, basically it's just an integrated ERP system. Okay, it's usually cloud-based and easier to implement. Okay, the ERP, the SAP Business by Design, it has the ERP, CRM, and also the PSP, which is more of the professional services product. Okay, so basically these are the SAP products we have. So what are the different business processes in SAP? Okay, we have the procure to pay, okay, which spans between from procurement planning to supplier selection up to payment processing, probably just, basically procuring your products from a vendor and also paying your vendor for that particular product, okay? Then there is the plan to produce P2P as well, which ranges from demand planning to material requirements planning, production planning, production execution, quality management, inventory management. There is the lead to cash as well, which ranges from lead generation to billing and invoicing now of your customers. Then there is a record to report, which is basically the core financial accounting and financial reporting. There is the asset management as well, which is more of the asset acquisition, asset maintenance, basically everything that's related to asset and finances. Okay, there is the service to cash. Of course, that has to do with you rendering a service to a customer and then your customer pays, and then also customer support as well. All right. There is the demand to supply, which ranges from demand planning to supply planning, production scheduling, inventory management, order fulfillment, as the case may be. Then there is the market to order. There is the idea to market, incident to resolution, which basically is just the incident management model or business process rather. Then there is the hire to retire, which ranges from recruitment to employee offboarding. Then there is the order to cash, which ranges from that's order entry, you taking on customers and then the customer receiving payments now from customer, either for a product or for a service. And there is the analysis part now for all these business processes. So as I said earlier, SAP has several business processes which can cater for any any organization whatsoever. So it's a good software to implement, but there is the downside of, the total cost of ownership. However, its robustness now, I think because of its robustness, the benefits rather outweigh, the downsides now or disadvantages. Okay, so these are the business processes in SAP. So SAP users. Now SAP is a very, very great software that caters for the needs of, enterprises. And of course, it needs subject matter experts, and it needs consultants who will be able to configure this. Now, I would advise that if you want to go into SAP, you go to probably an Indeed website. Just check, the salaries now of SAP users and SAP consultants. I think you would really appreciate, how good and how well SAP subject matter experts or consultants are needed, and how well they are paid. All right, so that's just an assignment for you. You could just go check it out on the Indeed. So SAP users basically are divided into two. We have the subject matter experts on one end, and then also the consultants on the other end. On the subject matter experts, basically, they are the ones who use the software. They are custodians of the business processes, okay? And they are specific to professionals, is specific to professional services. For instance, a subject matter expert could be an accountant, okay, which could be broken down into general ledger or accounts receivable. So there are several aspects, of accounting, which you could specialize in, or you could own the process. Okay, then there's the supply chain operators, which ranges from, the owners of the processes could be, the sales team, distribution team, procurement team, warehouse management team, inventory management team. So generally, the supply chain operators are also subject matter experts. Then also for the under the subject matter experts, we also have the human resources, which mostly is a personnel admin and the payroll guys. The business analytics, those guys who are into the reporting aspect and also data mining. Then there is the consultants. We have the subject matter experts and then the consultants. Under the consultants, we have functional analysts and technical analysts. And under the functional analyst, we have those who do the configuration, those who do, of course, the same people do the customization. They also do the quality assurance and quality control. They do the testing. They do the project management as well. Then we also have the technical consultants. These are, mostly the programmers, those who take care of, the system infrastructure itself. Now, we're not talking about configuration, but we're talking about more of people who take care of, the database, ensure that the database is working properly. Probably once an FS is done by a functional consultant, the technical person as well could be a programmer who would also program whatever the final is on the functional specification. All right, so these basically are the two kinds of users in SAP. These basically are two kinds of users in SAP. Okay, so the next thing we'll be looking at is the classification of SAP modules. Okay, the classification of SAP modules. SAP modules are classified into two. If you recall, when I was talking about, the consultants, I talked about, the functional consultants and also the technical consultants. In this particular case, it's same thing now. The SAP modules are divided into two. They are we have the technical modules and we have the functional modules. The technical modules basically handles, the development and maintenance of functional applications, whatever the application is. The technical module takes care of that. I talked about the database earlier. I talked about the codes as well. All right. The technical modules also take care of things like governance, risk, and compliance as well. Basically, these are the technical modules. The functional modules cater for business processes. These business processes now, there are varying business processes. We will be dealing mainly with functional models in this training, okay? Whoever you are, whatever you are, whether a professional supply chain manager, whether you're an accountant, whether human resource, you would fall under one of these functional models, okay? That you will fall under one of these functional models. So we will deal, with, virtually all the functional models in, SAP, at least the most popular. Let me not say all, because there are several functional modules which we might not cover here, but the most popular ones that deals with, business operations now and processes. Okay. What are these functional modules? I've divided these functional modules here into three basic parts. I would say four, because we have the industry-specific modules as well, which, eventually it will fall under any of these three. Okay, so the SAP ERP modules, we have the accounting modules, which is the SAP FI, which is financial accounting, SAP controlling, CO, SAP project systems, PS. Then we have the logistics modules, which is the SAP SD, sales and distribution, SAP materials management, SAP production planning, PP, SAP quality management, QM, SAP plant maintenance. Then we have the human resource modules, SAP human capital management, which is HCM. It's now called a success factor. All right, it's now called success factor. So human resource module. On the other hand, we have the industry-specific models. Now, these industry-specific models, for instance, now you're not able to use your sales and distribution. Let's say, for instance, now for certain products. Let's say certain products such as hydrocarbons. Okay, it has to be well customized to suit, the sale of hydrocarbons, so that things like vessel maintenance or vessel demurrage, as the case may be, will be covered. So that's why we have these industry specific. In this, in the hydrocarbon example that I used, IS oil and gas, okay, would cater for, sale of hydrocarbons. It will cater for things like demurrage as well. In terms of utilities, okay, probably in the sale of power, in the sale of gas or water bills, as the case may be, IS utilities takes care of that. So whatever the industry is, SAP definitely will have a solution for it. On the other hand, you could actually customize some of these models, okay, to fit, whatever industry now you might be going into with these models. However, owing to the complexity of customization, okay, it's best you just go for the industry-specific models to save time for implementation. So we will jump straight right into the accounting module, okay? SAP FI. SAP FI is a core module in SAP ERP systems designed to manage financial transactions with an organization. It provides comprehensive tools for financial reporting and helps in the accurate and timely recording of all financial transactions. Virtually every business process as regards a company can be done using FI. Okay, we've just listed, the sub-modules now in FI. We have the accounts receivable, we have the accounts payable, we have the asset accounting, we have the bank management. These basically are components of the SAP FI module. And as you can see, they all sit on what we call the general ledger. The general ledger. The general ledger is, the central repository for, all accounting data where all financial transactions are recorded, transactions from all these other sub-modules, they just feed into, whatever GLs or whatever general ledger has been created for them. As we go further, we'll get a better understanding of how this works. However, I believe that accountants who might be on this training at the moment, they would understand, how this works a lot better. Okay, so one of the components that we just looked at is the accounts receivables. Okay, it manages the money owed to the company by its customers. Okay, for products or services that have been delivered to them. It handles the billing processes, it handles the invoicing processes, it handles the posting of payments. It's responsible for also, credit management. If a company is, for instance, owing a customer, or if a company is owing, that particular organization, or a customer is owing that particular organization, are we, in terms of the credit limit now that can be given to that particular customer, this particular accounts receivable is responsible for that. It has a robust system to efficiently manage, the customer account. So on this screen, we're just looking at, what an invoice looks like in the SAP system. Basically, what we're seeing on this particular screen is 100 metric ton product quantity delivered to a particular customer. On this, we see a payer here being Eaglebits Limited. And the net value of 13,899,750 naira. That's what, that particular customer, that was what was delivered to the customer, and this is what the customer needs to pay for. And we see the billing date as well of 22nd of January 2023. Basically, this is just how the accounts receivable works. So once this invoice is sent to the customer would have to pay. And once the customer pays, then those the GLs, which needs to be debited or credited as the case may be, will be updated once that payment is made in the account receivables. The next we'll be looking at is the accounts payable. It manages the company's obligations to its vendors and suppliers and related vendor transactions. It handles invoice verification, three-way match, PO, GRO, and invoice payment and credit memo processing. It also does the efficient management and reporting of vendor accounts. So at this juncture, as I said earlier, we will be breaking into 2 35-minute sessions. So what we are going to do here now is the system will most likely log us out, and if we can just log back in a minute's time or thereabouts, then we'll continue from here. So please just pardon us. You just have to log back in a bit now. Thank you so much.